Ladies and gentlemen, from West Hampton, London, England.
Right, that's it. It's recording, it's going. Got intern Juan here. We got Smith and Campbell. And we have the crazy one in the corner.
I feel like I'm
she is a ball of laughs, though. She's fun. Yeah. She's hilarious.
I feel like I'm on the set of Howard Stern or something.
It's supposed to feel like that.
It's supposed to be like that. And then we have these two clowns. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Welcome to What's Your Name Again, the podcast. This is Kurt Caceres, your host. I have with me my boy, my best friend, my family, literally my brother. My parents look at him as family. My mom loves him like a son. He's with me for life. Anthony Azizi here in the house. He's an ex-guest. He's an ex-co-host. And he's a soccer fan. Correct?
Yes,
Football.
I am. Yes, I'm very excited to be here.
And we're all going to find out why he's here in a second. And the other one here is my other co-host, who's my partner in crime in the show, seems like lately, always co-hosting with me all the time, is Jennifer O'Delicious.
I got an O'Delicious. Okay.
O'Delicious.
Wow.
And so they're co-hosting with me. And so the reason why, they each have a reason why they're here. We have with us, again, a legend in the sports world. I mean, whenever I tell people that I met him, I posted some pictures online, and like everyone's just been calling me nonstop, and I'm like, dude, I guess I got to have you on the show because everyone just keeps calling me. But we vibed. So Jen shot her podcast here at my studio, and him and I just vibed like real quick, and I was like, dude, please come on the show.
Sure.
Blah, 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 blah. And so that's why Jen's here, because you're the contact through him. And then Anthony here is a avid soccer fan. His boys are in the club leagues in Los Angeles, and they're super fans, and they wanted to come meet him. So I figured we could talk a lot of shop here with Ian here. So Ian Feuer is here. Yes! What's up, brother?
I'm good, man.
Thanks for doing this, man. I know we've been talking about this for weeks, and you made it, and you came through, so we appreciate you coming. And yeah, you just, it's like everybody, it must be amazing, like having people like, when you first walked in the door here, all the kids are like asking you questions, talking shop, and it's amazing how you can be that kind of mentor and kind of father figure to these younger generations coming up.
Yeah, I always say I'm the luckiest man in the world to sign pro at 17, play 20 years, and now to be able to coach kids and help them achieve their dreams. It's I got to pinch myself sometimes. And to help kids is just one of my favorite things in the world to do. So,
that's the best, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no better feeling than just to help a kid get through a hard time in their life, or teach them a lesson or two, and then all of a sudden they get on the team, or so it's fun. So
especially since you came from that, you were there too. We were all child athletes, and we know what it's like. We always remember those coaches or those mentors that had an impact on us, that took us to that next level.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I can name all of them right now, but just from day one, the coaches that brought me up in Las Vegas, my parents, and they all have a part to play. And
so let's speak about then. So you were born in Vegas or raised there?
I was born in Las Vegas.
Wow. Okay. You don't meet a lot of people that are actually born in Las Vegas.
That's exciting, actually.
Well, wait till you hear the rest of his story.
Just wait. It's gonna.
It gets better.
I purposely did not tell him anything because, like, when you hear, I still was finding stuff out today that I'm like, are you kidding? Like, when you hear some of the stuff, it's just even outside of soccer, it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
you're gonna frickin' flip out. So grew up in Vegas.
Where do you want me to start? Like my parents or?
Start from the beginning.
We can get it.
Start from the beginning with your mom and dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
His dad is Wayne Newton. I mean, he's going to be the surprise.
Close.
Just wait. Yeah, close. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, close.
Siegfried and Roy. I am Siegfried, and this is Roy. He has white tigers hidden somewhere.
So my dad's from the Bronx, New York, and my mom's from Winnipeg, Canada. And they both migrated to Vegas back in the late 60s, I want to say. And my dad's a musician. My mom was a famous showgirl in Las Vegas. My dad played for Elvis, Paul Anka, Diana Ross, Frank Sinatra. He's a famous keyboard and piano player for all those people, and conductor sometimes too. Hence, I was born in Vegas a few years later after
Did you hear the Elvis connection?
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I was born in Vegas and grew up there. And then
And his mom, correct me if I'm wrong, was she opened some acts for the Rat Pack, right? Sinatra
yeah.
and
She did
and, Sammy Davis Jr.
Jr. and the Rat Pack, and she's pretty well known.
So
They
you're
wrote a book-
already
they
coming
wrote
from a
book about her.
lineage that's not even soccer related, because this show, it's called What's Your Name Again, and it's entertainment based, but we branched out to other people who have connections to it and who have stories that can parallel what we go through as artists and entertainers in this business. And you came from an entertainment family, has nothing to do with
it's true.
sports.
Yeah.
It's
Like all
incredible.
around that.
That's
Wow.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Well,
cool.
wait till you
Yeah.
hear more. There's more.
That's why he's so talented.
There's more, and we might as well just freaking delve into it right now. I'm gonna go straight to it right now. 'cause,
Sure.
dude. Do you know who he played in a movie?
He was in a movie?
You're never gonna guess this.
That's right. We didn't get to that until like the very end.
You're never gonna guess
Well,
this.
him and I have been talking all week.
No, I know,
He said,
I know.
we can
No,
talk
this is
more
good.
about this. This
He
is
played. He
Kids are
played.
gonna get,
He.
the kids are gonna get a kick out of this.
Randy Quaid.
Lindsay loved that one.
I mean,
Okay, no, that's a
no,
good-
but a handsome version of Randy
That's a
Quaid.
good call. That's a good call. But he actually had
I don't
an
even know who
outfit
that is.
on.
Okay.
He played one
Dennis
of the,
Quaid's brother.
But
You know
check this
Dennis
out.
Quaid?
Listen.
He played one of the most famous, iconic characters in the history of movies.
Huh?
Can I say villain?
Villain.
Yeah.
I guess it's a villain. But
James
maybe,
Bond?
But maybe
They said
that-
he's the coolest villain of all time.
But maybe he didn't think he was a villain.
True. I know he was.
Was
trying
that
to-
your motivation when you were wearing the outfit?
Yes and no.
We're just look. We're leading the audience on. They're like, what? And commercial.
I was just,
What's going on here?
beat me to it. I was just about to say the same thing.
Well, because he's so tall, he a superhero, right?
Oh, you're getting closer. You're getting closer.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
so he was completely covered.
Dreadlocks.
Mr. Freeze, like a
Dude, even better. We're talking.
yeah, Mr. Freeze. You know.
Yes, he had dreadlocks.
He had dreadlocks.
Oh, the Terminator.
Getting
No,
close.
the Terminator.
getting
Oh,
warm.
Predator.
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, he was the Predator.
Yeah.
So he
That's crazy.
Not Dateline NBC. Just the
Alien
other
versus
Alien versus
Predator.
Predator.
Oh,
The movie.
Requiem. It was like 2007, something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, so tell the story. Like the funniest story is he's wearing this outfit. And what was that story? You were in the bathroom or something, and like some dude just walked up?
So it takes about an hour to get the suit on. It's like putting on a big, thick wetsuit. You just got to get in your boxers and put baby powder on and just kind of slide the thing on and put a helmet, put the helmet on and everything.
Oh my
like that.
God,
So it takes-
I couldn't do that job. Man.
Yeah.
I would get a little bit claustrophobic.
I would
It
get
wasn't
a
a big
especially
deal.
with the helmet.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
that thing had to be on all day, right? Once
Pretty
they
much,
put it on
yeah.
you.
And it's
Oh,
about 50
God.
pounds.
So,
So
these,
your
so
neck.
these guys are
Gosh.
divas.
Yeah.
These are actors and they're divas. And
Oh
you're,
no, I've been in worse.
and you're an athlete. You can handle that.
Could you breathe? Can you breathe?
Yeah. There were the scenes where they show close-ups of the teeth moving in the mouth.
Yeah.
You can't see anything. Those are that one is
all visual effects.
No, like I'm doing it,
Oh.
but I got to do it blind. Like whatever
Oh.
I did, I had to do it blind. Like run here, turn right, fall off the stage for
no
but
you can't
kidding.
see?
I
You
didn't
you can't
know
see.
that.
The one where there's a
Oh,
face plate,
right.
you can see through the eyes. There's like a grill, so you can see through the eyes. So that one's like you can see, but the other one you can't see a single thing. So there was one scene I actually had to like walk 5 feet forward and take this metal grill off and put it on my face, like act like I'm putting it on my face. And I got it, I paced it out 5 steps, and all of a sudden, right before the director goes, in action, he goes, "Oh, take a couple steps back because you're in the shot, and you got to walk into the shot." So now I'm all over the place. I walk straight into the wall.
It's like
hit the
pin the
wall.
tail on the dog.
Yeah,
I want to
everybody's
know, why didn't they give you eyes?
because they got to shoot from really close, and there's like
They don't want
about
to see the grills, man. You got to.
well, no, they show the eyes move and there's
Oh, it
like
actually had
there's like I want to say 17 servos, and there's like 8 guys working the
No
one.
way, with
wow.
little,
yeah.
with little
So you can hear
joysticks.
it inside. It's like
So you're in there and all you hear is,
Wow.
yeah.
and you're just like, I'll go blind and try to hope
That's
I get
what
it
you
right.
had to do. Yeah. So
And
like
then-
I go
and the
straight into
director's
the
going,
wall.
I hope he doesn't break his leg.
Yeah. Exactly.
So how did you
that's
score that
impressive.
job? That's freaking as so random as it gets.
Via soccer. I was coaching a goalkeeper for a club team. I wanted to go watch him play one day, and this one guy named Mike goes, "Hey Ian, you're doing a great job with the keeper. Just want to say that thank you so much." And I'd never heard from him for like maybe 2 years. 2 years later, he gives me a phone call, got my number through someone. And he's like, "Hey, and this is Mike." And I was like, "Mike who?" "Oh, yeah, Mike from the club team." Yeah. I was, okay, it kind of clicked a little bit. I I'm thinking, why is he calling me? He's like, hey, have you ever seen the Terminator with Schwarzenegger? And I was like, yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah. He goes, would you like to play the Predator in the next movie? And my next quote was like,
"That's so insane."
Yeah,
he goes,
insane.
he didn't even want it. He's just walking around, and they like gave him like this iconic role.
Yeah,
and we audition day in and day out, and we get one line, and this dude's like, "Do you want to be the Predator?" This is a joke.
Yeah.
This is our industry. You know
Rewind
what
to
the
the
moral of the story is? Coach soccer for rich famous producers. You know what I mean?
Rewind to the beginning where I say I'm the luckiest guy. Yeah, so that was another lucky moment.
Exactly.
So, I immediately go, Mike, I don't mean this wrong, but who the hell are you? And it turns out he's like,
and we would never do that. We'd be like, oh yes,
I think
sir,
we'd
whatever
say
you
yes
like,
before
whatever
we
you
asked
like.
him who we
Exactly.
What can I do for you? Can I get you a coffee? Can I come to you wherever you're at? I'll drive there.
Exactly.
And he's like, who the fuck are you? I don't care.
So he was like, I think he was like the senior producer. He was really high up, so he could call some shots. And he's like, he goes, look, if you fit in the suit, it's yours.
Wow.
So we talked a little bit of money, and we just, that was it. Did about a 3-week shoot, and
That's freaking.
it was the funniest thing
how
ever.
freaking legendary
That's
is that?
that's incredible.
That's why I wanted
But
to
you know
surprise
what
you.
though? But you know why he called him? It's not only because he helped to make his kids better players and all that, but because physically, I mean, it takes a physical athlete.
yeah.
And soccer players, I don't care if you're a goaltender or a center forward. You were just telling that story about doing something in the blind. Did you see the YouTube of him scoring goals in pitch darkness?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the new thing now. They serve him these balls, and he times his thing so he heads the ball right into the goal.
In dark and
pitch
black?
black.
Wow.
People are looking at him through those kind of
No way.
things that you can see in the dark.
Wow.
So
there
these
was times where it was like almost torture. I mean, there was moments where I had to be like, I had to man up, and I had one time the helmet, it had like a metal thing around on the inside, so you could turn it tight.
Oh, God.
So they turned it tight, and it had to be somewhat tight because it's so heavy, and the signature move from the Predators, like whip the dreadlocks around.
Oh no!
So I didn't want it to be.
This is going.
Yeah, I didn't want to be loose. So all of a sudden, I do that, and the head's twisted that way. So they had to do it pretty tight. So I do this scene, and it started getting really hot. So now my head's expanding a little bit, and it's just this metal thing, and I could just feel it's like a Chinese torture.
Oh my God.
But it was like my first scene too, so I didn't want to be like, but yeah, it was about, the first scene was about an hour and a half, just straight, just shoot.
But you're right, only an athlete could actually handle that.
And that's why
rigorous.
Do they take it off after a while so you can get a break?
after the scene I took it off.
Oh, you could do that?
Yeah, that's pretty. It's just like putting a football helmet on, but then the metal part, then they screw it with a screwdriver in the back.
So you didn't keep
so
it on
gets
all
tight.
day? I couldn't.
The suit I did. The suit I did, and
but
even because I had to.
You must
That's
have
the
been
other story.
sweating nonstop.
That's the other funny story.
And what is that? What is that?
When I had to go to the bathroom. So you have a little flap if you have to use the bathroom.
Oh, they made it like that so you can pee?
Yeah.
Well,
so
obviously,
the funny,
otherwise he'd have to go in it.
the suit
right?
part.
No, I thought you could take it off.
No, the suit part takes forever. So you're not taking that off. You just you get in that all day, and you're like, yeah.
No, we talked about that last time because like when you wear wetsuits when you're surfing, we always pee in the suits because you can't
You're
sit
in the
there
water, too.
and pull off the suit in the ocean. I don't know if you ever experienced that. All surfers just pee in the suits. Yeah, and
And
it,
you knew when they
it
did,
actually
too.
feels good, which is kind of amazing. It sits in your suit and it warms you up. It's like a bathtub, and it just sits in there.
If you see a
You
surf,
notice my kids are smiling. They know what's going on. I mean, they
Exactly.
surf too. You know what I mean?
They know exactly what you do.
if you see a surfer sitting there shaking cold, and all of a sudden just release and smile,
Yeah, that's you know
what they're
that's
doing.
going down.
Exactly.
yeah.
I wish I could have done that. I did an episode of Charmed, and I played this devil, and they had me, of course, in these black spandex rubber outfit, and they had to put baby powder inside it just to actually slip it on because it was so
me too.
tight.
Yeah.
And when you peeled this thing off at the end of the day, it was just like.
Yeah.
This
Like,
one over here in her career, she's only worn
Same thing.
She's only worn spandex, black tie leather, or loincloths.
Her whole career?
Then every
Not much at all.
every freaking role she gets.
That's unbelievable.
Typecast.
Oh my God.
So back to so the wetsuit thing. Then you just drop the flap and piss.
Yeah. So one day I had to. It was like I had a little break in the scene and had the full helmet on and everything. And I walked outside to go to the bathroom. And I went to where it wasn't just for our set. It was like anybody could go to the bathroom. It was at Fox Studios. And I walk in and I see this guy there. He's already starting to pee, and I just walk right next to him, stand next to him, look down. And I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" And he looks up, and his face was just, "What is going on?" It was like, "Where's my camera?"
That's such a Hollywood studio moment.
Yeah.
You know?
He's like, "Where's my camera?"
That's like out of a commercial. Hey, buddy, what's up?
Yeah,
Fucking
it'd be
Predator
great.
standing right next to me taking a piss.
But I just played it off like nothing was
Yeah,
going
exactly.
on, just everything was normal, and it was hilarious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that means the Predator does take a normal piss.
Yes,
He
yes.
doesn't
The
piss-
Predator
Yes.
peas.
He doesn't
Let
piss
me
in his
ask you this:
wetsuit.
how many? There was a few of those movies, right?
Oh yeah, there's been like 5.
And
or
did you
6.
do the rest of them?
No,
or
no, no. I did the one. I did the Alien vs. Predator Requiem, and then I did the. We did a video shoot for the DVD release, which was pretty cool because it was me shooting soccer balls on the Alien. You guys should check it out. It's pretty cool. It's on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Shooting soccer balls at the alien.
Yeah, because they always do like a funny spoof. Like the first one, they had the Predator and Alien
No,
playing
you
poker.
were shooting it as the
Oh,
Predator.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, kicking soccer ball? I've never seen that. That's
Oh,
on
I'll show it to
YouTube?
you. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
What do they look up?
Alien vs. Predator soccer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of soccer, so you started like what, 8 years old? Started as a kid,
Yeah.
like Anthony's kids. I remember I have a park right across the street from here, and I remember he used to bring them here, literally at 2 years old, with freaking like all the gear, the goals, cones. They could barely walk, and he had them out there, and I'd be like,
It's like slave
dude,
driving.
what's wrong with you, bro? They're like, two. No,
Run!
yeah, they gotta go. But now I see, so I've watched them play and practice, and these kids are beyond amazing. Like at 12, like these kids, the way they play, it's like now I get why you have to start so young.
Yeah, you have to.
So you started at what?
8.
At 8.
Yeah.
At 8 years old.
7, 8. Yeah.
At 7, 8. So, and then what's this about your friend who was like affiliated with the mob, like invited you?
That's it. That's what got me.
He'll love this one. See?
What the hell's going on here? Elvis Presley, the Predator, the mob. What's going on here? I mean,
loves
this is like a
anything.
potpourri of insanity.
I'm telling you, this is freaking the best interview ever.
Have you seen the movie Casino?
Of course.
Okay.
If somebody hasn't seen it, I don't want to talk to
Right,
them. You know what I mean?
Okay, well,
I'm serious. That's insane.
the person they based the movie off was Tony Spilotro.
Oh, it wasn't the Jewish. What was that? I thought there was
No,
the
Chicago
Robert.
De Niro. That was Tony Spilotro.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, so it was based off that.
Oh,
famous like Chicago mob boss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, his sister, her son was the one that got me into soccer. So I'm in Vegas,
wow.
just riding my bike around, and this dude walks up and he says, "Hey, you want to ride bikes, whatever?" And we became friends. And like a week later, he's like, "Do you want to play soccer?" And I was like, "What's soccer?" Like, yeah. He's like, just kick a ball around, just stand there. You know what I mean? And so I started playing, and he was the one that got me into soccer. So
Does that mean you were a made man? Like when that happens, like were you
They
protected?
were counting on your career.
I was good.
Were you protected? Like,
there was a couple times the refs gave us a couple calls. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of
But,
scary, actually.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being like, John Gotti's kid playing soccer? And you see him show up in the sideline? That team is going to win every time. No, I'm
that's true,
serious.
that's
If
true.
I was a referee,
Or the other coach.
and I saw a kid playing, and I said, "Who is that little kid?" And they go, "Oh, that's John Gotti's little kid over there. That's John."
No,
right
but
there."
that happened. I mean, I'd be like,
You
I'd
saw
stay the
Tony
night.
Scalacci?
I'd stay the night sometimes, and I'd wake up and just have breakfast or something. There'd be like a couple heavy dudes there, and like, they're like, "How you doing? Hey, how you doing?" You know, like.
The big chains.
Oh,
the
yeah,
big
no,
guys,
no,
they
no
were like
joke.
this. They're like
Seriously.
and they're all so super calm,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like,
One's cutting like garlic with a razor blade. You know, I swear, like it was
For real.
breakfast. And this is for
stereotypical,
breakfast.
stereotypical, like just yeah.
So
I
that's
had
real
no idea.
stuff.
I had no idea.
Did you guys end up on the same team together?
Same team for like 5 years. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah.
That's really cool. What did he play? Was he a forward,
He
center,
was like
midfield?
I want to say like a midfielder. or
Midfielder?
something.
Was he
Yeah.
good?
Yeah, he was very good.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Italians are good. They can play.
Italians are good.
whatever came of him. Do you know?
He's still in Vegas as far as I know. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't contact. Yeah.
So now here's another thing. Like the craziness just doesn't stop. Now this one I saw today. Now tell me if this was true. You didn't even bring this one up,
What?
so I don't even know you
What?
know this.
What?
I don't even know if I know this. What
Who
is
was your sister married to?
Oh God, Mickey.
Mickey Rourke.
What?
Right now?
You didn't tell me
Used to,
that. You've
yeah.
never told me that.
Exactly.
My sister.
This
yeah.
is
And
Wait, is
you've
your- wait a
never
minute.
told me that
Is
either.
your sister Carrie
oh my
Otis?
god.
No, Deborah Feuer.
What was it? Name?
Deborah Feuer.
Oh, Deborah
She
Feuer.
did a couple things too.
I know Mickey. I got a crazy. I'll have a lot of Mickey stories.
Yeah, Mickey. Yeah, Mickey's a good. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
That's crazy that she was.
wow, okay.
How long were they married for?
He met her when he did, I think he did, his first movie was like Diner or something like that. One of his first movies he met there, and then he did all the way through till, what's the movie, 9.5 Weeks.
Oh, they were married for a while.
A long time, about 10.
That's long for
Well,
me.
at least she got him in the good-looking years.
Yeah, she got,
Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
She got him. She got him. Yeah, she got him on the years where you knew it was Mickey Rourke.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He
love
loves
When
soccer
you knew
too.
it was Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, he likes soccer too. So yeah.
Oh no, yeah, he's a bit. You know, I've known him because he trains at Wildcat. I box
Yeah.
as well, and
Okay.
he's
He's
always
a big
there.
boxer, yeah.
And he's actually a really great athlete, man.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, he's a tough guy. He's not like one of those actors who's like.
Seems like he's
you wanna
always been a
fight
tough
me?"
guy.
Yeah, he's a tough guy, man.
He
I
went a
don't
little-
want to get into a fight
That
with
last
him.
movie
No.
that he just did, where he came back as a
Wrestler.
The wrestler, yeah.
no, add the one after that where
Oh.
he played in the superhero movie, but he was a bad guy. What
Oh
was
yeah.
I know what that was.
Because that
Wonder Woman.
required, but that required a lot of physical activity.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
where he was like, you know,
Oh, he's shredded. He's a big.
yeah.
he had
So
a,
your sister was an actor.
yeah. She played a bunch. She did. She'd played in a movie with him called Homeboy. She was in that.
So your whole family were just performers the whole time. And technically, as an athlete, you're a performer too. You're on a
You're
stage.
a performer. That's
You're
it.
a performer. You're on a
Yeah,
stage. And I wanted to we're going to get into the soccer now. And since we're talking about performing,
Yeah.
and since we kind of segue to celebrity stuff and acting, like, this is something I've thought about a long time. And I want to know, finally, I met somebody who played back in the day. Did the image of soccer change? And is it different than when you were playing with the Beckhams and the Ronaldos? Like, it seems like all of a sudden it became about tattoos, freaking cool hairstyles, the best clothes. Like, all of a sudden it became about their image and like they're like all supermodels now. Where back in the day, soccer was just about playing. Was it different back then, and did it make a drastic change?
I caught both versions. I
You were
caught
kind
the
of in the
tail
middle
end
of
of the
it.
old school, and I retired only in 2007, so it was 2006. So I caught both ends, but it's all about money.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're fit, you got all the looks, you got all that. I mean, David Beckham, when he was here, worked his butt off in training. And he'd go straight to an underwear shoot or something. You know what I mean? Like, and I know it's David
Well,
Beckham,
don't they
but
make a hell of a lot more money sometimes just doing promo
oh
work?
yeah. So the promo works ridiculous. So they're all staying fit for soccer, but also they got their side gigs too that are making tons of money. So now the marketing side's ridiculous.
Yeah, so did that just happen overnight, or did you kind of see the slow progression of that? I mean, because, like, did it just all of a sudden these guys just showed up and all of a sudden supermodels are playing soccer?
Yeah. In England,
Seriously.
yeah, in England in 1994, that's when the Premier League started. That's when it was formed, and Sky Sports bought it and took it over, and so the money just went overnight in '94, just through the roof, and it's only gone through every year just up and up and
Yeah.
up. So it's gotten crazy. So every single player in the field's a millionaire. I mean, people don't understand they're making better money than some of the NBA guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it gotten
God.
that crazy?
Oh God, yeah.
No, the most
I mean-
income making sports team in the world of all sports is
Manchester United.
I think.
No, it is, but I didn't realize. So
Look
if
at the
you-
top 10 players, top 10 athletes, earners in the world. There's the
Oh,
first
the
two,
soccer's always, yeah.
2,
I mean,
3,
Messi,
4, and then
it's
you
always
have
Messi,
LeBron.
Ronaldo, yeah.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: so if you're a starting 11 right now for West Ham, or starting 11 for like any Premiership,
Mm-hmm.
let's see, let's say you're down in the table, like, Norwich,
Like West Ham?
Yeah, no,
We're down on the table right now.
or Albion, or
Yeah.
one of those. Like, are those every player out there is a millionaire?
I mean, maybe not. Yeah, I mean,
Close,
they're,
right?
They're getting paid money.
Yeah,
Really?
wow.
Well, it also depends
It's
on
that
how much
competitive.
is going
true.
out to. They can be a millionaire for a very short period of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the difference too in English, in European sports and soccer is every player gets there's transfer fees. Okay, you don't trade players. You pay a fee. So every player gets, it's in your contract. It's usually 10% of a transfer fee. So there's players getting transferred for
$100 million.
$100 million. So you do the math. That's just your transfer fee. Okay. Then you get a sign-on fee, which is equivalent usually around that same price because before you sign, you get a sign-on fee.
Yeah.
And then you get a weekly. They do a weekly wage. They do a weekly wage based off kind of your transfer fee. So I mean, If you're making it, if you got
Wow, I
sold
didn't
for
know
100
that. Yeah, I
million-
never understood how that worked. Thank you for breaking that up.
What's the thing about being on loan too? I saw that you were on loan at one point.
Yeah, they loan, like,
What
if you
does that
come back
mean?
from an injury. I had a couple of times I got an injury with West Ham, and to get games, because I'd be out for like 4 or 5 months or something. If
Yeah.
you get games, they'll loan you out. So there could be another team that needs a keeper. So we help them out. They help us out. I get games. They get a keeper, and yeah, they kind of that's
Oh,
a
I
big
see.
thing.
Wow.
But there's no transfer fee involved in all that. That's
No.
why it's called on loan.
Yeah.
You just.
Wow.
Now the
It's
team
look
picks
at that,
up.
it's such
Now
a
the team
business.
the team picks up your wage though.
Oh, they do. They have
So
to
the
pay you
team
the
who
same.
are, you can work that out.
Oh, I see.
Like, because sometimes a guy will be making bank and he goes to a team that can't afford it. And
Right.
They'll just be like, "Don't worry, we'll take it." But usually the team takes that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to bring that up about that is because, like, again, I'm trying to parallel this with our business. It's like, this business is all about, look, the most talented don't always work here. A lot of times it's about the best looking or the best personality or who has the most social media followers or the biggest influencer. So do you think that, look, sports is the one place where I believe still that the most talented are going to play.
Oh no.
But do you think that it could go cross
He
that
loves
line?
to bring up this stuff.
Do you think that it could cross the line politically where it's more about who you know, how much freaking influencer status you have, and even now as we're going forward, how many fans you have? If it's between you and that guy has 7 million followers, and you only have 800,000, am I going to choose him? If you guys are equivalently talented.
That definitely goes on, I think, in anything. There's players that have been signed from Asia to the Premier League just because they know that the second that player signs for a Premier
It
League
opens
team,
that huge market.
oh my God, they're selling 1 million shirts a day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
know
That's
what
what
I
I
mean?
Yeah,
wanted
you
to
said
know.
it earlier.
Yeah.
It's all about money.
Yeah. No,
Thank you.
It literally
So
is.
it's just like Hollywood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, at the same time,
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to step on the field.
You have
still
to have
Yeah,
a
you
certain
still gotta
standard. You have to
perform.
have a
Right,
certain-
yeah, but standards.
sure.
Right.
Exactly.
And now, like you said, we all know players that are just terrible, and they're like, boom, they're making it, and there's other guys that have worked their butts
Yeah.
off, and they're not making it. So
Yeah.
that's every department. I know that's
Yeah.
the same in your
Yeah.
department.
That's
you know.
exactly the same here.
Same
Exactly.
thing. So, you know.
But that
It's-
sucks that sucks. The thing is that certain sports you can't escape it. Like what I love about golf, I hate golf, but what I love about golf is that there is no. It's not. It doesn't. I mean, Tiger Woods could have looked like that brick wall,
Yeah.
and he's still going to get those endorsements
Yeah.
because he's the best. It's about if you shoot the lowest, you're the king.
Yeah.
And I like that. And in baseball, I don't care if you're 2 foot tall or 6'7". If you're throwing 99-mile-an-hour fastball,
Yeah, you're doing good.
you're going to get
That's
signed.
true. The little precise little stats
Certain-
can put you over the
Yeah,
edge.
well, certain places, but in soccer, unfortunately, the way I'm seeing it, having coached it at small levels, different.
Yeah.
His level,
Speaking of which, so so we're talking about coaching. You coached for the Galaxy for a little bit,
Yep.
right?
I was there
2
for
years?
about 9 seasons.
And how was that? How was the team doing during those years?
Amazing. When I was there, we won 2 championships.
Oh, damn!
Yeah, we got
you
to the MLS
Did you guys get
Cup.
like a ring and the whole thing?
I got two
Nice.
Galaxy rings at home. Yeah.
And you played in the MLS too, right?
I played for New England Revolution and Colorado Rapids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, like, I was seeing somewhere that you were trained by this guy that invented this thing, like equivalent to like a pitching machine, like, and I don't know if the internet sometimes could exaggerate, but I heard you were out there for like 12 hours a day catching soccer balls from this pitching machine until the wee hours of the night until your hands were bleeding. I mean, like literally.
It's maybe not 12, maybe 10.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, seriously. No, seriously.
Yeah.
I swear.
So-
I brought lunch to the field. So we do a morning session.
Let's
had
hear
lunch.
about that.
So yeah, my best buddy to this day, Aaron Griffith. His father was my coach for my club team called the Generals. Still one of the best teams I've played on. I gotta
Vegas?
shout-
Vegas?
Yeah.
Was it Vegas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so we formed a team. His dad was the coach, and he was just a beginner coach and everything, but he became an amazing coach. And he invented this ball machine that just shoots the ball out. And
Just like a tennis ball, but a
Yep.
soccer ball.
yeah, and he just tried it out I was like his guinea pig, and he just got out there and he's like turning it up every, and just gets it up to like 8, 9. I'm just getting blasted. He had a mat I was jumping on, and I just was out there all day.
Do you know how fast the balls would fly at you? Did you know?
I don't know, but they're pretty fast.
Zoom,
yeah,
huh?
yeah.
So
For
this
me, for
coach,
my age,
this
yeah.
coach was quoted as saying, Ian went from being the worst player on the team to one of the best in the state at
Yeah.
15 years old.
Yeah.
And that's from that training.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the reason why I want to tell
Hard
people
work,
this
man.
is
COVID.
for everybody listening, it's not just about sports. This is why I want to cross over this, because I was an athlete my whole life too, and this is why we bonded, is because I feel like the athletic mentality needs to carry over to life.
Oh, yeah.
Because it carries you no matter what business you're in, whether you're an actor, an attorney, or a freaking teacher, whatever. The athlete mentality, that 10 hours a day, that determination, that repetition, practice until you freaking master that thing, that should apply to anything in life.
100%.
And most people don't have that drive. And whenever I meet those people, they haven't been athletes.
Right.
And I wish, I always say, people need to, everyone as a child needs to have played an organized sport, a team sport, an athletic sport, just for a little bit to kind of get that thing, because that helps you in life.
Yeah.
And look at that. It's like you became a premier goalkeeper in the world.
It's crazy. You know how hard that. By the way, I mean, you know how hard it is what he's achieved. It is. I can't. It's really, really.
It's a
impressive.
needle in the haystack.
And, I mean,
You guys are so cute. You guys have such a man crush on him.
I mean, it's because it's insane. It's insane.
Well, also
It's
being the
insane.
first American there
It's
too,
so
first
cute.
American keeper there. I was the first American keeper in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Wow!
Right?
Before Tim Howard and all those
Tim
guys.
was way later. Yeah,
Wow!
I coached
Did
him.
you hear
yeah.
that? First American.
Look, they're like-
this is-
Well,
They're
no,
like drooling.
first American
The kids
keeper.
are like
in the Premier League.
awestruck.
Yeah,
That's what I
in the
want. I want to
Premier
say
League.
keeper, but still,
Yeah.
that's but
So when
but
I
now-
came over, it was just like, what are you doing here? Like, so I couldn't be just as good. You know, I had to be better than any English keeper.
Of
they
course.
had.
We're,
'Cause they
we're
have
going
this
to get to that.
arrogance.
But
They
just
have an
for,
arrogance,
For Oh
man.
Delicious, and she's saying we have a man crush. The thing is I'm carrying it over, though. It's not about the man crush. It's about the way you hit whatever career you're doing, whatever task you have to do, whatever you have in front of you. This carries over to anything, not even just sports. You know, the reason why I admire it is because I get it, because that's how I've always lived my life. Yeah. And people are always like, dude, you got to chill out. You freaking take your shit too serious. You work too hard. Work too hard? Wait a second. Yeah. Don't you? No. Yeah. That's what it takes. If you want to get to the top, see, the man crush comes from because he got to the top. We've been at the top of our business. So have you. You've been at the top at one point. Yeah. So you know what it takes to get there and keep it.
Yeah.
And then we've lost it. So the thing is now he's kind of in the same place we are. He didn't really lose it. You retire, you move on with your life, but now you have to reinvent yourself and do something new with what you have and everything that you've experienced.
Which goes exactly to my goalkeeping academy, Premier Goalkeeping Academy. That's the whole philosophy. What you just said was the reason I put in the extra hours, or someone puts in the extra hours in anything they do, is because they love it.
Exactly.
So it's not a chore. I mean, I can go against the wall and kick a ball and practice for all day, and it's not a chore.
Right.
So the philosophy is, as a coach, is to keep the love for it, and it not make it a chore, not make it a burden, or you know what I mean. So it's to keep it theirs, and there's times you got to be a little firmer, but in terms of, you know, the philosophy is you got to keep the love, because otherwise you just don't want to do it.
Otherwise, you're just doing it just to pay the bills.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's why I always,
Yeah.
when I coach actors, I say the same thing. That's the first thing I say when I meet new actors. I said, are you here to be an actor, or are you here to be a celebrity?
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, because if you just want to be a star, do you love it? Because if you don't love this, you're not going to have longevity.
It's gonna be tough.
That's so true.
Yeah.
You have to, acting, and I know you two can attest to it. I can be on set for 18 hours and I will not complain. Yeah. But you put me in a cubicle in an office for an hour, I'll shoot somebody.
Yeah.
And that's
You'll
the
go
thing.
postal. You'll go
Yeah,
postal.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's
I've
like
seen you go
you
postal.
have to have the love for it.
Well, but not only that, you know, especially coming from the entertainment business, I'm sure this is the same way too with sports, is that when you hit a high, it's always going to you're always going to go into a valley eventually, you know, and the people who do get into these businesses for the stardom and then all of a sudden hit the valleys really hard.
Oh, yeah.
And have a really hard time climbing out of them. And then they usually get into drugs, alcohol, or, you know, whatever.
And that's why sports is so similar to what we do, because you start out and you work your ass off your whole life and you get to the top. You're up there, you're playing for big stadiums, for big crowds, you're getting all this attention, you're making money, but that doesn't last forever.
Right.
It does not.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, the floor comes out from under you and you have to, what the hell am I doing now? I missed that high. High. What do I do with myself now? And that's the name of the show is What's Your Name Again? It's about coming back from relevance and coming back. Life's not over.
Right.
When you reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
And it's okay to do that. That's everybody goes through that, you know.
Yeah, take what you've learned on those lessons and you do something new like you do. You have your business now.
Yeah. Well, for me, I honestly, it's going to be tough to say whether I love coaching or playing more. I mean, I love coaching.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so
that's
much.
Well, you're at a different stage in your life. Though,
Yeah.
too,
No,
but
now.
it's
You have
fulfilling.
kids.
It's fulfilling, yeah.
It is fulfilling, man.
Yeah,
When you
to
see
see
those
Sure.
kids,
Yeah.
like I look at some of these kids that I trained on my team, and they've moved on to like this kid Stewart. You remember Stewart? I mean, the kid's 12 years old in Cruz Azul, which
Yeah.
is a Mexican
Big team.
Yeah, this is your people, man. The Mexican, a big Mexican club
your
team.
people.
You know, no, there's a big.
I know Cruz
team.
Azul, yeah.
Mexico.
12 years old, they're already recruiting him
Yeah.
and bringing him. He couldn't even kick a ball. I mean, he could kick.
Sure,
but, I mean,
but-
we really
yeah.
developed this kid, at, you know.
Wow.
And I think when you see that, you're like, oh, that really gives you a sense of a purpose again.
100%.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like that the Galaxy, when you were at the Galaxy, you were there at a really good time?
Yeah.
Do you feel that the level? I'm tired of hearing. I find myself defending. I was married to a Brit, and I spent a lot of time in England. I know my cousin is like the mascot for Chelsea,
Okay.
so I was always at the games, meeting like from the days of when Frank Lampard was playing.
I played with Frank at West Ham, yeah.
Oh, he was there too.
Yeah,
Oh, toward the end of his
at
career.
West
right?
Ham.
Yeah. And he's a love. I actually like Frank. Hello, how are you? You talk like this, you know what I mean?
That's
but
pretty good.
It's pretty. You know, he's this strong guy, and he's like, hello, Ian. How you know.
Yeah.
But my question is, I'm tired of the bashing of the MLS. How do you feel? Do you feel that the MLS should be bashed, or I mean, obviously the level's a little lower than some of the leagues, but you know they keep comparing the MLS to like La Liga or the Premiership, but there's a lot of other leagues in the world that are professionals that the MLS I think is just as good or better.
I 100% agree. And here's the other thing is you can't compare it because England, their first team, I think I want to say is Notts County, was formed in like 1901. 1910 or something. It's like the oldest team in England.
Soccer existed back then?
Yeah, no, it's like something. It's something crazy.
The British
yeah. So our league started in '96.
God, someone
So
found that funny.
we got plenty of time to catch up to that, you know.
I
So
see. You
but
saying
if
it's just a time thing? It's a time.
well,
factor?
it's a time, it's a culture thing. I think we're at a place now where see soccer is artistic. It's not a
That's well said.
you know, you don't really in proper soccer and football, you don't tailgate. You go to a pub before the game.
Right.
Okay, so it's a different culture. You go to the pub and then you go to the game. Here, it's like a whole family event.
Right.
You know, there it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's a culture and it's very artistic. So you have to understand the subtleties of soccer. Okay, and if you don't, you're just going to go, well, it's a low-scoring game, and they're just kicking a ball. What are they doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I mean, we're doing great. And when you look around, we got LAFC just formed, and if you go to that, it's like the packed stadium.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It's an unbelievable experience.
You got Atlanta getting 50,000 people a game. We're getting there. Seattle, Portland. I mean, there's teams that are just doing
selling
amazing.
out. Yeah, Atlanta is Atlanta putting 50,000
They're
people?
putting 50,000 a game.
That's insane.
They're playing it. It's unbelievable. So we're getting there, and I think when we get to the point where the minimum wage is $150,000 a year, then we'll start to become major.
Is it not
right
even
now,
that close right now?
Every team has about 4 designated players who are making millions.
Yeah.
Then there's about a handful of making between, $500,000 and $600,000 a year, and then there's a small group making about 2, and then there's the youngsters are making like 30, 40, 50 grand.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's
that big of a difference.
So that's
Yeah.
like Hollywood. So
that's
this,
Yeah.
that has to change. And when
Oh.
that does, I think we'll be a stronger league because some of these kids are going off to Europe or whatever or quitting because they're like, I can't
survive.
survive
Can't
in
make a
LA
living on
with
that.
30 grand a year.
wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have
So-
to have another job.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
They
they
can't
can't
train.
focus.
They have to-
No.
yeah.
You're a soccer player and you're driving Uber at night?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you
No,
kidding me?
yeah. So once we get to that point, I think we'll be a lot stronger, and and then, hold on to some of
But
our.
you laugh, but that's actually
No,
sad.
no doubt.
Like I know
It's a thing.
teachers that have to do
Yeah.
that. Teachers in LA that teach
Yeah.
during the day and drive Uber for like 3 hours a night.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Extra
Like
money?
that's
Yeah.
criminal.
Yeah.
That's what.
Well, we
and
talked
again-
about that too. I mean, I have, my side gig is doing my photography and my podcasting and my voiceover work. So it's you gotta have a little bit of everything to make that extra money until the big bucks come in again.
Yeah.
But that's how. Then again, that's how. What parallels with Hollywood is that back in the day, we used to be able to do one job and it would last us for a while. Now we have to do 3 or 4 to make up for the one job because
20.
now they're lowballing us.
20.
Now, meanwhile,
Lowballing
It's
us.
insane.
And,
I mean,
now the difference between the upper 1 and 2% and the rest of us is there's the gap. There's no one in there. It's either you're making $20 million a film, or you're barely making $2,000 an episode
Yeah,
on TV.
there's too much disparity. Yeah, man,
that's a difference too. And like, there's a kid at West Ham making $10,000 a week, 19 years old.
Wow.
That's a difference. You know, yeah, and that's not uncommon. I mean, once you turn 18, they start.
And he's
paying.
not even probably not getting time. They're still developing him.
Yeah,
right?
they're still. Yeah, he's still.
Well, let me hear that about you. So you went to Belgium at 16.
Yeah.
Now, that's young. Did you even finish high school, or you just went
I
straight?
finished over there.
Oh, you did. So what was your catalyst or motivation to go right then? What happened?
I did growing up, one of my favorite goalkeepers was a guy named Toni Schumacher. He's a famous German goalkeeper, and just watched him from the days of Vegas every day. And there was like one game a week. It was called Soccer Made in Germany. And that's all we got.
Yeah,
And
I watched that.
remember that with
Yeah,
Toby
it was-
Charles and everything.
Yeah, it was always a Bundesliga game.
Yeah, it was always Bundesliga. So he played for FC Cologne.
Cologne, yeah.
And so I just watched, and he just became my favorite keeper. So fast forward to 15 years old, I was moved from Vegas. I was here now with my parents.
Canoga Park.
Canoga Park, yeah. I went to Canoga Park High, and all of a sudden I'm reading Soccer American. It's like Tony Schumacher's coming to Alabama to do a camp. I was like, Dad.
Alabama.
Yeah. Like,
Of all
never
the
heard.
places.
Yeah. So just, he knew, I don't know how he met the coach or whatever. So anyways, I was like, Dad, I got to go. Mom, I got to go. So they put me out there. I go to the camp. And, I mean, I've always wanted to play in Europe, but go to the camp. And then just right after about 3 days, Tony Schumacher's sitting in the big stadium of Alabama. And he calls me over and he's like, hey, come here. And I'm like, holy crap, And just,
Oh my God.
yeah, he's like, what do you want to do with soccer? I go, I want to play in Europe. He goes, yeah, you're good enough.
Wow.
What?
I was like, what?
Wow,
Okay.
that's
He goes,
awesome. But with the German accent, you're good enough. Yeah.
yeah, you're good
Yeah,
enough.
this is you unbelievable for you. Your name is even German. Yeah.
Wer ist Germans?
Oh, he's the accent master. Keep going, dude. That's why you're here.
Love it.
No, it's funny. This is beautiful.
So yeah,
story.
he told me I was good enough, and I was like, wow. Called my mom from Alabama.
Wow.
I'm like,
This is
Mom,
crazy.
Tony Schumacher just said go to, like, but he did say, he says, you got to go now. He goes, the younger, they're going to groom you. If you go later, it's tougher. So he goes, go over when
Wow,
you're 16.
really?
Yeah. So I was like, let me try it. And that was it. I
And
went
you
over.
talked your parents into it.
Yeah.
That's scary a little bit. You're going there
yeah.
all alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were
Belgium,
young.
yeah.
Weren't you 16, 17 when
I
you
was
left?
16.
Yeah.
Yeah,
your
the
parents-
Belgium's a shitty.
Well, wait a second. And didn't you
Oh.
learn how to speak?
I speak Flemish, Dutch, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So your parents didn't go. Your family didn't go. You stayed with like a foster.
Well, when I was
Oh,
12, my team, the
Crazy.
Generals, back in Vegas, we took a tour of Europe, and when we went to Belgium and Holland and Germany, and we stayed at host families in Belgium. So when I wanted to go over, I called the host family. I was like, hey, can I, come stay with you for a little bit, and I'm just going to knock on some doors and just see if I can make a team. And all of a sudden I knocked on one of the biggest team's doors and I said, hey, can you give me an hour of, to have a look at me? And they gave me an hour, and they're like, yeah,
Wow.
we like you. We'll give you a year contract. You're going to sign at the youth levels, like the 16 and under team. And that was it. And a year
That's
later, I
brave
signed
of your
pro.
parents to actually
Oh,
send.
you didn't.
I mean,
you didn't go there having a team.
No.
no, he went by himself.
Dude, literally.
I know. It's like
This dude is a baller.
and that's you're, not
No
only
wonder,
are
no
you-
wonder he was a predator,
And-
man.
and
This
that-
guy's a real predator in real life.
And that
I'm going
was
to fuck you up. Yeah.
I was there was one other American that played in Europe, Paul Caligiuri, famous player.
Oh, yeah.
Very famous, good friend of mine too. We ended up playing the national team together. He was the first American. He played for Hamburg. He signed for Hamburg, and then I was the second American player over in Europe.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so yeah,
That's crazy. From Vegas through Alabama, like
Dude,
Alabama.
Belgium is suicide
Dude,
city too,
dude, I
because all
thought
they have is
Alabama-
there is like they have nothing to do except watch cows, man. Belgium is like
true. There's
the
nothing there.
Were you in Brussels?
I was in Bruges.
Oh, it's pretty there, but still, it's pretty. But suicide, there's nothing to do there. You just
Would you say it's suicidal?
suicidal. I mean, this is not. You eat chocolate, watch the time go by. Yeah, looks so nice. Yeah, Bruges. It's bullshit. And then their favorite thing there is moule frites, which means
is
mussels and fries. Like that's what they're famous
that's
for.
That's actually really good.
It is. It is. If you don't stop and ask yourself where the hell they got the mussels. I mean, it's a landlocked little city.
How far did these
and they're like,
come from?
we specialize in mussels. And I said, where the hell are you getting these mussels, bro? You're not on the coast. You're not anywhere.
They got a coast. They got a coast.
They do, bro?
Yeah.
The Mediterranean?
They're right on the coast.
Oh, wow. This guy's so sorry. He's
Sorry, buddy.
shit about Belgium. Yeah. He's so stupid, this guy.
Have you been there?
Oh, yeah. That's
Okay,
why
then
I'm
you were
saying that.
obviously in the pubs the entire
Well, Brussels
time.
Brussels is landlocked.
He
Yeah,
was
bro.
landlocked.
No, I mean that's why I'm saying I went through Belgium and I was like,
I'm going
I
to
could
drink
never
now.
live here. No, I mean I was like, I
Oh,
could
that's
never.
where you were like in and out. Real
Yeah, I
quick,
mean,
right?
I even tried.
Okay,
Like I was.
Bruges is actually pretty cool. They call it the Venice of the North.
It is.
It's
It's
like
beautiful.
It's castles
It
and
is.
moats.
It's,
and it's surrounded
it's
by
so
a moat.
romantic.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
It's pretty
beautiful.
cool. It's
So I
pretty
have a
cool.
question for you then, so
Yeah.
having gone through this whole journey, because like I always tell, again, young actors or up-and-comers, like you have to put a certain dedication to your craft and do it and not fuck around and go party and get distracted.
Yeah.
Did you ever at one point, like it seems like you spent your first 30 years at least just dedicated to your craft, and that was soccer. Did you ever just screw around, or did you just always just, that was it? That was my life. I'm not getting distracted. I'm not getting off the beaten path. I'm going to dedicate to this. Or did you ever fall off for a little bit and have to get yourself back on?
Never. I mean, I'd have a couple beers with the boys or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's
But I mean,
normal,
to this
but-
day, I've not done one drug. I've not done.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
mean-
most guys I know that don't make it, girls too, in this business,
Yeah.
is they go party too much.
Yeah.
They get in the club scene.
Yeah.
They get in the party scene. They get in this, and they're done. They're
Yeah.
Well,
out.
especially these days. Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
And the same thing as an athlete, it's like that's your freaking mentality.
Yeah.
It's like every freaking day that's the thing. And I was telling this story last time when I first started as an actor. I'd be on a shoot somewhere or out of town shooting something, and people would be like, "Hey," after the day, they'd be like, "Meet us at the bar." I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
I got to get my rest.
Right.
I gotta go. I have to study
I
lines
remember
the
those
next
days,
day."
yeah.
I was so freaking dedicated to my craft. I was like, I can't go out and party, blah blah blah.
Right.
But that was the athlete mentality.
Right.
But then finally, I realized as later years came, you have to loosen up a little
Yeah.
bit in our
Of course.
business
Yeah.
and enjoy life. What do you do? When did it eventually happen? And what do you do now to actually feed your own soul and just have a good time instead of taking life so serious at this point in your life?
We went to a comedy store the other day. Yeah. We went to Laugh Factory.
She is a comedy
Well,
star.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say he's
Your
married
wife-
to
your
the
wife
Laugh
is a comedy
Factory over
star.
here.
Yeah.
Like all you have to do is throw her in the kitchen and give her a glass of
Oh,
wine.
if I ever take myself too seriously, she will kick me. Yeah, she's the best. So she has the best sense of humor. She keeps me grounded.
She's
and-
my friend.
And
Yeah.
she has been well behaved tonight.
Yes.
She's
She
has been
sitting in the
very
corner,
well behaved.
hasn't let out a peep. I'm so shocked.
Exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
Good
So
job, you
I'm
guys.
very proud of you, Linz.
yeah, she's
Hi,
great.
friend.
She's great. But yeah,
Hey,
I mean,
I'm
just
entertaining my kid.
Yeah,
But
just, yeah.
Ian, that's a very important narrative. I just want you to know, as a soccer coach and
Yeah.
working with kids and seeing the problems that we have in with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And still, it's prevalent. I think it's important for you as a professional, as somebody who has been the top of your field, is to keep reminding kids that is not part of what it is to be a great athlete, and
Right.
it's not necessary.
No.
You can still be happy, have fun, be cool, be a stud star / everything that you are, and you don't need to drink and do drugs.
No.
And I'm glad my kid was here to hear that testimony.
you just-
I really am.
George Bass.
yeah.
Well, so he brings the guy who killed himself
Right.
with alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, please. I mean, are you kidding me? My kid
Well,
yells
the-
George Best.
Well, here's another crazy story: is you just never know what's around the corner. So one day I'm playing in Belgium, and I get a call from the U.S. national team, and they're like, "Do you want to play for our Olympic team in the
yes.
Barcelona Olympics?"
Very good point.
Wow.
So the first thing I got to do is I got to fly to Florida and do a drug test.
Oh, wow.
Now, if I fail that drug test, I'm not going to the Olympics.
Wow.
And this all happened in the span of like a week. So,
Wow.
you just never know. Not saying you don't do drugs just because you might go to the Olympics, but happened to work out pretty good that I
Wow.
didn't. And, you know,
No, you got to be on your game.
got to be on your game all the time
Yeah.
because you just never know what's around the corner.
Right.
So,
Well, same with
And
us.
thank you
We
for-
might get an audition the night prior, and we're out partying or something like that. And
right.
then,
Yeah. And
you
you're just
know,
not
the
on your
next day
game.
you've
And
got
that's a
an
perfect
audition.
segue to
Yeah.
something I wanted to talk to you about was athletes have this, but a lot of actors don't. You always have to be prepared. Like, for example, a soccer match is 90 minutes,
Yeah.
correct? How many outside hours practicing would you say one has to average for just one 90-minute game?
I mean,
Like, just on-
if the game's on Saturday, we train Monday through Friday,
And how many hours do you think you put in
At
Monday
least-
through Friday for a 90-minute game?
at least 3 hours a day.
Okay, so that's 15
And that's just on
hours.
the field. You're doing extra gym work and
Yeah.
So let's say 20 hours. So think about this. 20 hours for a 90-minute game.
Yeah.
That is pure dedication. I'm always telling actors, are you kidding me? You don't put any time in. You
Right.
don't read a book. You don't
Right.
go to class. You don't
Yeah.
study anything.
Yeah.
You just think you're going to show up. That's not how the way it works. And I'm glad this came up. It's like you have to always be prepared. You always have to be ready. You may not work as an actor for months, but the minute that comes up and you have 2 days to go, you better be prepared.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning now.
You better physically have
Yeah.
been working out and have your
But that-
physically look good. You
Yeah.
better have been studying, be mentally there, be physically there,
True.
spiritually there, because that call comes like that.
That's right.
And just like that drug example for actors.
You don't want to get ready. You want to stay
no,
ready.
you don't get the call and say, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
time to get ready." It's over.
You got to
You
stay
can't
ready.
get ready in 2 days.
Yeah.
As long as you're already always ready, and that is the athlete's mentality. Again, that's
Yeah.
why I love this episode and I wanted you on. Is because athletics and acting are so parallel, and people
Yeah.
don't realize that. You always have to stay ready because you don't know. You could work for weeks, and all of a sudden you've got to show up. All of a sudden this team wants to try you out. Or you're getting transferred. What was that freaking saying? Getting transferred or loaned or whatever.
Yeah,
out.
loaned, yeah.
Getting moved to another freaking team.
Yeah.
Just like acting, all of a sudden you get a call. Anthony, we want to book you on this job 2 days. All you've been doing is freaking sleeping, eating pizza, and
That's
and
about
you've been
right.
working
Yeah.
out. And
That's
all of a sudden you're
Yeah,
like,
you got to stay on top
now
of
I
it.
got to
no
go
doubt.
outside. I got to
That's
get a little
right.
sun, get some color. I got to work out real quick. I got to like not eat some sodium. Freaking like
That
I
was
gotta-
Kurt's favorite thing. Every time he's like, I can't. There's too much salt. I'm gonna look bloated on
Dude, that's what I'm
camera.
saying. You got to look
It
good.
was insane.
You got to be ready.
It's
You
too
got to be on
much.
top.
yeah.
Says, look
Well,
who's
I can tell
laughing, you of
numerous.
all people.
There's so
Why
many.
did she do that too?
She
She's
posts
worried
every
about
day
blood.
her working out at the gym.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you never know. You know what, too? That's very true because I have gotten calls like, "Oh, you have an audition tomorrow for a bathing suit ad or something." I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah, you're not losing those 10 pounds in
So-
one night.
10
No,
pounds.
you don't.
She's in the
No,
best
you
shape
just-
of anybody around. I've ever seen. This is insane.
But you've got to stay on top of your game. That being said, I remember when I was doing Lost World, we're shooting for 8 months straight. Every now and then you're going to go out and you're going to drink and you're going to have a good time. One time I had a little too much fun. And I completely lost my voice. I had to do
God.
an entire day with no voice. Thank God the guy that we went out with was our sound operator.
Sorted out.
And so what did he do?
I had to go in and do ADR on the weekend and
my
voice
God.
over like two or
Oh,
three
he hooked
scenes.
you up with that because he was with you.
Oh no,
Wow.
yeah,
Producers
he was
would've
like,
been pissed.
it's my fault.
See, so
crazy.
let's
I'll never
attribute
forget
this.
it, and I will. But it taught me a big lesson because I will
Yeah, but
never
see,
do
this
that
is
again.
one place where we can get away with this. If a soccer player did that,
No.
and they had a match the next night and they went on and got wasted,
Oh, no.
it's hello.
No, but I
But my
was
kid
also
mentioned
on
George
a
Best.
show.
There are some people that are so talented that can do that. Actually,
Every once
Yeah.
in a while.
Oh, why he was
George
going-
Best died of alcoholism, and he was an alcoholic. He was considered, no pun
One of the
intended,
best.
George Best, one of the best
So
players.
he was
in
going
Asia.
out there
Would
playing,
he play?
Would
He
playing
play drunk?
Oh, he
Yes.
would.
Oh my God!
I got buddies. I got buddies that know him.
Yeah, that's one
Oh,
thing
did
that
he?
I no.
Did he
That's
come to
where
the field drunk? I thought that was
Not
one
all
of
the
his
time.
things.
Not all the
Oh no,
time.
I thought that was one of his things. He's like, mate, I never show up to a game drunk. I just drink afterwards. I don't know, but there's
Yeah, that's one
a
thing.
great
I could
documentary
never,
about him. Right
that
now.
was excellent. I could
Well,
never
then
come
tell
on
you,
set
Any dialect you throw it
hungover
out there,
or
he has
drunk
it.
or anything like that.
This
That's one
guy's
thing
the
where I call
dialect
it.
master.
No way.
Literally throw it out there.
know.
He's freaking.
But it's scary that
he's
my
amazing.
kid. But it's scary that my kid threw out George Best. He knew that George.
Can
my
I be
kid
mean
knew
again,
that he's
though?
an alcoholic.
Can
That's
I-
crazy.
That's good
Can
though.
I-
That he knows not to do that because that's what happens. You die.
Can I be mean again though?
Yeah.
George Best was Irish.
Oh,
So he has a little.
You're
So he
right.
talks a little bit like. So he talks a little bit like
You're
that.
right.
So
You're
he's-
right.
I never-
He's right. He's
So I never
right.
came to a game drunk.
Yeah,
you know?
you're right.
You never came to the game, though.
You know why I said that?
can't
Because
do
I mixed it up because he played. He
Played for Manchester.
Yeah, he played for those English teams. He was Irish. I'm so sorry.
You're
to
not
the Irish
okay.
being, hey.
It's okay.
Look,
That's
I just know
important.
people are going to call me out on it,
No,
but
no,
I
no,
didn't
no,
call
no,
him
no,
out
No,
on
no,
it.
Exactly.
you should have called me out, and I just saw his documentary
Yeah.
again, and I should. I was just. I was wrong. Sorry.
That's okay.
Well,
We'll
this
We need
forgive
to
you.
make a documentary about you. Ian.
We'll forgive you. Well,
Yes.
that's.
That's
Well,
it.
I'm all
We
ears.
talked about that. That's
I'm
it's
all
in the
ears.
works. We got to
Well,
do
this
that.
is like the
Yeah.
Howard Stern show. We can say what we want,
Yes.
how we want, when we want, the way we want, and that's what it is. So
Yeah.
you can say whatever. You're not being mean. That's how
Okay.
we are. We make fun of each other.
Yeah,
we have
it's
a good
fine.
time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So I wanted to ask you your take on this. Like, for those of us who look, I played soccer as a kid, but never in the older years. I look as the goalie, as the
keeper.
equivalent,
The
the
keeper.
keeper,
Goalies hockey.
the keeper. See, exactly. I didn't even the goalkeeper or just the keeper.
You can keeper or goalkeeper.
Now, are they considered like the quarterback on the field, like the
I mean,
commander?
In
I
my
mean, look, they
eyes,
have
yes.
They have their freaking colors on. They have the
Yeah.
gloves, and they're always pointing at dudes like they're
That's-
always yelling at
What
dudes.
is that? What does that mean when they're pointing at?
We're just
them? Like they're-
organizing.
Oh.
A good goalkeeper can organize his defenders in front of him before bad things happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And they're
So-
always throwing out orders to the guys. And the reason why I say this is that, just like I use football for example, because that's what I play,
Yeah.
and that's what I know best.
Yeah.
The quarterback, when something goes wrong,
Yeah.
no one else gets blamed.
Right.
It's the quarterback.
Yeah. Same
And
with
a
keeper.
goalie, same thing. It's a team sport.
Yeah.
And all these guys are playing together, but in the end, when they get scored on, well, they're only looking at him.
You're on an
right?
island. You're on an island. Yeah.
So you're basically got to be kind of the commander, right?
Yeah. You gotta have
It's
a.
the hardest. It's the hardest job on the field.
You gotta have thick
Anyone that knows it.
skin. Yeah. And again, we could make 10 saves in a game and let one in that
And
we
then it's
should have
just like
scored,
that.
and
Yeah.
it's like a quarterback throwing an interception, and the forward can miss 10 and score one. He's a hero.
That's
So-
right.
Exactly.
There's no risk enough. I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't score enough goals and you're a premier guy, you feel the
You'll feel the pressure,
But but at the end of the day, that's a beautiful analogy. He can
Perfect.
make 10 crazy saves, and then it's like a 1-0 game, and he misses one.
Yeah.
And then
That's
and
it.
they're only looking at you.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's tough.
Now I want to see this too. Now actors like I don't know. Have you ever auditioned or done? That?
No.
So
I just know people.
So the audition
he
process.
coaches famous people's kids. It's awesome. He's like,
Yeah.
Did I tell you about kicking and
you're
screaming?
gonna
though?
see. You're gonna
The
see
what?
him.
Did I tell you about kicking and screaming?
No, do it.
Oh my
Let's
God!
hear it.
Me and
Will
my-
Ferrell wants you in his movie now?
Well, me and my buddy Dan, we did all the soccer on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
see?
So we did all, and I was actually in it about 3 times.
We got to find Spielberg's kid, and he'll be in like Jurassic Park 4.
Dude,
You know what I mean? He'll
Yeah.
be like a ranger.
I'll be a T-Rex. Yeah.
Dude, they'll have freaking velociraptors kicking soccer balls in the freaking cage.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's all you got to do is like find George Lucas and you have Luke
I swear
Skywalker
to-
hitting soccer balls with a lightsaber.
Because
It's like,
everyone
here we
has a
go.
kid or a grandkid. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they'll be like, "Hey, this guy Ian's amazing."
All of a sudden, Chewbacca has a brother.
Well, wait a second. Didn't the guy who actually played Chewbacca just die?
I think he did.
Oh.
So, all those people out there, anybody know anyone?
So I'm gonna go back to that thing though about auditioning. Auditioning is considered one of the most stressful occupations. It's considered an occupation on the planet, equivalent to fighter pilots. Very stressful.
Oh, really? They've done
Yeah,
tests
they've
on
done
it?
studies because, again, I wrote an article about this on my blog the other day, and it's basically I have a blog. Yeah.
I was about to say,
was
you
gonna
have
say,
a blog?
what?
Yeah.
Every day there's something new
New,
about this
right?
guy.
Yes.
Just like Ian.
So-
Ian.
Look, intern Juan, he lives here, and every day he walks in, I'm on his computer doing something. So basically, I wrote the equivalent an actor. Basically, if you've never gone to an audition, think about this. Think about learning 10 pages of dialogue.
Right.
And you have to be off book, meaning memorize it. You have to go to this place that you've never been and walk in a room of strangers. We take this for granted because we know it. You walk in a room of, let's say, 10 people, and they're staring at you, and no one's smiling. They're not friendly. They're judging you. Are you too tall, too short, too fat, too white, too black? Your nose is too big. Your lips are too small. Your eyes are too tiny. You're too this, you're too that. And they're just looking at you. You're a commodity to them. And then after they've stared you down, you have to open your mouth and do a scene
Right.
off book and be in character and be vulnerable and express emotion, something that most of us cannot do even in our private life.
Right.
And then after you pull that off, which you have to do on one take, You don't get a warm-up. You don't get a rehearsal. You have to do it, bam, in one take. Then you have to say thank you very much, walk out, and go about your day.
Yeah, well, and live
pray.
with that. Yeah.
And so the
call
thing
you.
is why I wanted to equate that to being a keeper is the only thing I can attribute to that is shot as what do you call them? Freaking goalie shots, freaking at the end, a freaking shots.
Penalty shootout?
Penalty
Oh, penalty
shootouts.
shoot, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say that. So that's the only thing I could equate that to auditioning, because a penalty shot is basically 1-on-1. There's no time to really think. You've got to make a decision. It's you against that person. And an audition is very, very similar. You walk in there, it's you against you.
Yeah.
And you've got to do it and perform. And there's all this pressure. Like, everybody's watching you. Are you going to show up or are you going to fall on your face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. So what does that feel like? No one else is going to understand that if they've never been a keeper. What is it like being in that position when you're standing there and there's a guy... How many feet away are they?
12 yards.
They're 12 yards away from you, and they're thinking
And
the
goal's,
same thing.
the goal's 8 feet tall by 24 feet wide.
Yeah.
And what's your wingspan?
7 foot.
Okay, so you've got a great wingspan, and this guy's thinking, all right,
Yeah.
he's got this.
But still, the shooter always has the advantage, man.
Exactly. The shooter has the advantage, but he's also nervous, too, because everyone's staring at. He could fuck it up too, just as much. Yeah. But all eyes are on this guy. Is he going to go left or is he going to go right?
Well, the thing is, one of the hardest things they say. Well, the hardest thing in sport is they say to hit a baseball, a fast, like a professional baseball
Yes.
with curve, whatever the
Absolutely.
Oh, they say that's the hardest.
They
thing
did
in sport?
studies.
Yes.
Yeah. The second is saving.
Dude, you know how
Yeah.
much? Do you know
It's
how
not
much?
harder than what he does.
Let's go to the batting cages.
Yeah.
Your brain doesn't
I believe
barely
it, though.
goes that fast.
Yeah, I believe it. No, they
That's
did
right.
it. They did it on the sports side.
Yeah.
The study. It's crazy. I mean, because the sweet spot of a bat's like 2 inches.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
And that,
But
yeah.
And the
the
speed
second
from the hand to the plate.
That's
is
true.
and
your
it's thrown
brain.
with curl and dip.
And they're moving it. Exactly.
But the second thing is saving a penalty kick.
There you go.
But
okay.
there's no pressure on us. If we save it, we're a hero. If they score, they should. So the pressure's really on the forward.
But
Wow.
but,
Really?
They score,
but
they
Ian,
should.
But let's say it's 3-2, and it's the final kicker, and you need to save it to make it 3-3. The pressure's on the keeper then.
Oh, the pressure's on that you want to save it, but they're not expecting you to save it.
I see what
you
you're
see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
should.
That's an interesting thing
They
to
I
learn.
never
should.
knew that.
Because
I
it's a
never knew
clear.
that.
They should
because,
score it.
because the shooter always has the advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, you're 12 yards away.
So the shooter has the pressure.
Yeah.
And he has nobody helping him.
right.
Doesn't
And
have anybody else.
Well, no, the other guy doesn't
anybody
either.
else
yeah.
defending him though. There's nobody.
No, no penalty kick. It's just me and the
Right.
forward. But
That's what I'm saying.
The study was how many soccer balls can fit in a goal. So there's that many. They did the whole
Oh, there's
science
that
thing.
many opportunities.
Then they did,
Right.
distance. They did reaction time. They
Wow.
did pace. Where it could go, and then as a keeper, you gotta try and stop it.
Yeah.
There's so many places
Yeah.
it can go. But I actually had a good record on penalty kicks.
Of
Did you
course,
really?
of
Yeah.
course, because look at you. I mean, you're
Yeah.
tall. You're
And I just
very
scared the
athletic.
crap out of the forward
Yeah.
too. I just stood
Now
big.
this
got
is where I
my.
want to ask you.
Yeah.
So I'm all about icing my competitors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I wrestled.
I see.
Dude,
That's crazy.
it's mental. I talked about this in my...
What do you mean when you go into your auditions?
Okay, so I talked about this today. So today...
Oh, you nasty man.
So my
You do that?
I see my competition.
So it goes
Well, you
from
guys
the,
go in on the same stuff all the time.
No, we never do. We're not the
but we
same
have
guy.
we have run into each other once or twice.
Because, you have
Very rare.
lots of friends that you run into.
Yes, I do.
do too.
I've gone out for the same roles you have. I just put on a shirt. I mean, jeez. I put on my blue contacts, and here we go. So the thing
I'd like
is...
to see that. Okay, go ahead.
So, now I forgot what I was going to say.
You're
Icing.
talking about icing your competitors.
Thank you. So, thank you. So today I had my friend's a professor at Cal State LA, and she teaches acting classes to people, and she had me come in, and that's what I talked about was icing, because it comes from the sports mentality. I was a Greco-Roman wrestler. You box, especially in one-on-one sports. It's a mental game. Team sports aren't as much mental as a one-on-one. A goalie,
Goalkeeper.
that kick, the freaking penalty kick,
Yeah.
anything that's one-on-one is mental.
Yeah.
Anything. You were talking about baseball. When you see any interviews with the best pitchers in the history of the game, you know what they say? They say, I used to look down the batter and I would get in his head, and I could see him start to sweat
Yep.
and shiver.
What?
Yes.
Shiver?
Have you ever seen 30-30 on the ESPN things? Those
Yeah,
fucking
which one?
documentaries?
Yeah, which one?
The best pictures, they always said, dude, I used to look at a batter across the plate, and I used to see him in his eyes.
Okay, so what are you doing when you walk into the
So this
audition
is called
room? Are you like...
So when you ice somebody,
mean.
icing means ice cold. So do you know that term, right? You know it.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a mental game. So you basically make another person lose confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
Start to get in
I
their
don't
head.
like that.
And
But that's not nice. Don't you want everyone to do their best?
okay, are
And
you
then
in
still-
it? Are you in it for them, or are you in it for you?
No, I mean, I want everyone to do their best.
Okay, so if you're playing soccer in a game, are you like, hey,
No, I
come
wouldn't.
on through? You
No,
can
no,
have
no.
your way.
Because in a game, if it's mano a mano, a great shot and a great save has nothing to do with icing. You could still put a ball in the upper corner, but if he guesses right and he's big, he's tall, and he has hops, he can get to that. So
Absolutely, but are you cheating when you're icing? You're not. It's a mental
I don't
game.
know.
You're looking. Do you think
you know what? I do something a little similar, but I'm not mean. I'm not.
It's
I'm
not
not
mean.
cold.
It's not cold.
I go in there with I more or less win them over or win the energy in the room over with just who I am.
Exactly.
You
It's
know,
the
just
same
my
thing.
confidence. Ian,
do you agree in? Have you ever used that like
All the
well,
time.
they have
some
to.
in the eyes?
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, no, sports.
Thank you.
You're always.
No, I'm not saying it's.
It's
I mean,
not mean.
No,
That's
It's
part
like two
of-
boxers, when they're
Yes.
going, and you get the eye, same thing. We do it all the time in sports.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
why? I want to know your take. Why is it mean?
Well, I just think that when I say mean, it's like I feel sometimes when you approach, it's about sportsmanship. Like even
Well,
boxers.
there's a
that
line
do
you
that-
don't
I
cross,
agree.
though.
Yeah, there's certain
I
boxers
agree.
that ice people, but in a very kind of. I mean, Antonio Margarito iced Miguel Cotto by putting plaster in his
That's
gloves.
different.
Okay, that's good. That's-
No,
yeah.
but I'm just
I
saying.
just
I mean,
said
it's
when
like
it's legal and you're not breaking rules and you're not crossing the lines. Literally, if I'm gonna stare at somebody, what's wrong with that?
well, it's because I'm your friend.
But
Like
that's
we're up for the
different.
same part.
But that's
and you're
that's
staring me
different.
down. What are you, a mafia?
okay, so
you
this is
grew up
what-
with him in Vegas with Tony the Tiger. I mean,
This
what
is
the hell's
this is
going
what I'm
on?
gonna tell you. So I'll go to an audition.
Yeah.
And this is what I told the students today. There'll be 10 dudes my type.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how many guys and girls are out there that look exactly like
Sure,
us.
yeah.
I'll go in a room, there's 10 dudes my type. There'll be dudes sitting in there flipping pages. Oh my God. They're like
Yeah.
on there. And I'm like, bro, if you don't know your lines now, just freaking give it up.
Yeah.
You
freaking
tell
have-
the guy
Say
that?
that.
No,
to
I
them?
think that. No, I
So
think
then you
that.
don't need to
No,
ice that guy.
no.
He's already a
No,
mess.
so
Yeah.
listen.
Why would you ice
so
him?
listen, no, I don't do anything. This is what I do. Just listen.
You kick the guy when he's down? Is that
No. So all I do is I walk in. My sides aren't even out. They're in my freaking coat pocket.
That's what I'm saying. You go walk in
Exactly.
with confidence.
You walk
yeah.
in and I sit at my seat and I just look around.
Yeah.
Chill. I'm relaxed. Not even looking at my pages. And then the icing is the guy's thinking, holy shit. He's so confident and calm. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
well, that's a different
I don't even
story.
know my
That's
fucking
not
lines.
being
That's
mean.
Okay, I
icing.
You
never-
basically said
if-
that you
if I was
would
in the-
stare them down.
No, but
I pictured him in there like
Yeah,
this.
he's like
What you looking at?
he's like Tony Montana. Like, hey, you look at me, I'll kill you, motherfucker. I'll kill you. I mean,
so it's a form of icing, though.
Well,
it
you
comes
go
from
in there. You
sports.
go into the arena with confidence, right?
Sports.
Oh,
yeah.
But there's also in sports that we trash talk a lot, and it's fun.
Okay,
Yeah, oh,
so
did
Like, for example,
did
if
you
I'm
do,
taking
like, and you're in the middle and on a corner kick, did you used to trash talk
all
the
the time,
forwards?
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Like,
great.
what would you, like,
And
say
they would
to them?
trash talk to me. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
the
What
fans
would they
would
say?
trash
Like,
talk.
what would they say? Like,
Well, like for example, on a penalty kick, the guy's he's obviously all nervous and that everybody's waiting for him to shoot.
But hold on, you shouldn't say anything to when he's nervous because it's mean.
right.
Seriously,
Listen,
really, guys?
okay.
No, that's part of.
Let me
We
hear.
get-
Eat or be eaten, motherfucker. Seriously.
We
I
get-
told him I'm gonna cuss in this place. You guys are in here.
We get
But
bonuses-
Seriously, you want to win in this life? You need to take people out.
We get
Okay, go.
bonuses for wins and loss. We get bonuses for a win. We don't get bonuses for loss.
Thank
so
you.
are gonna do anything you can.
You get paid
Once
when you
you-
book a
They give
job.
bonuses?
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
they have
Incentives.
something else too that we don't. At least when they're performing like that, is you have millions of people looking at you, not
Oh,
only
yeah.
on television but in the arena, 50
Yeah.
to 100,000 people,
Yeah.
hating you.
Oh, yeah.
or loving you.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's another confidence
Yeah.
builder.
Okay,
or
if you don't
Yeah.
ice people
you know.
in the audition room, you either book the job or you're going and driving Lyft.
Okay. Let's wait. I want to hear what he says. Like, what are some of the trash? This is
It's
so
not even
interesting.
trash talk. It's more just like getting in their head. So he's about to take a penalty kick, and I'll just be like, "Hey, I saw your last one. I know where you're going." And I might,
That's different. I like that.
Hey, Smith, did you
And
hear
I
that
did,
one?
yeah. And I
I
did.
saw your last one.
Well, they do that in hockey too. At
Yeah,
my, at
that's
my
what I'm saying.
son's
That's
age,
all the time.
oh my
Oh, yeah,
gosh! And
yeah.
he's 10 years old, and
Yeah.
they trash talk on the
Yeah,
ice,
yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
So that's a different story. Yeah.
And then I would just like some guy would try to take me out, kick me hard or something, and I would help him up, and I'd be like, "Dude, if you want to take me out, hit me harder."
Wow.
Yeah, I
And then
remember
he's just
that.
like, "Okay, I'm not coming near this guy," just stuff like that. But that's.
Yeah.
And then after the game, we're like shaking hands, and it's like boxers.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Like, look, I don't go sit there and like talk shit to anybody or hit anybody in the face. It's just going in there with confidence, being me, and you go in there in that energy with, like you just said, and they start to second guess if they're prepared enough.
Do you? But have you stared someone down?
I don't stare them down. I
Oh,
just
you
stare
said she even saw it. Yeah. You looked at me and you said
what he said.
didn't
It
he
sounded
say-
like he just goes in there. It's like
Yeah.
No, I said
like
from the
like you
days
were looking
when
them
I
up
played
and down.
sports. I played one-on-one sports. It's all about one-on-one.
Yeah.
Whoever looks at the other one harder, that one's getting intimidated. You already have the advantage.
Hey, when we were testing for our series at Threat Matrix, you were like kind of loose. You weren't like
Which I-
staring people down.
I used that example today again, testing for a series. It was me against two other guys, and
For
at
Threat
that-
Matrix?
Yeah, and at that point, you're looking at each other in a different way. You're looking at each other like, "Wow, we made it this far.
Yeah,
We're
you were
boys
really
now."
nice.
Yeah, that's different.
You
That's
weren't-
different.
You were Eye of the Tiger.
no,
Relax.
that's different. When you've made it that far and you've made it through
When
the
I'm
gauntlet,
testing, I actually twist.
You become Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Oh.
You become mean. Wow.
Yeah, because I remember when I
Oh,
was
what the hell
testing
is
for
that?
certain
Different one.
things.
Oh, this one's out of
That's a
control.
lot.
Because
Wow.
because I only go now because I put so much time and energy in it, I get into
look,
my
she's
own
starting
head.
to get like
Yeah, oh
red.
my
Her
God,
eyes are
she's
I
turning
get a little
red.
like
Vampire
because
Diaries
you want
over
it
here.
so
She's out of control.
bad. You want it so bad.
get the Predator
especially
helmet
when you're
out.
testing. You got to stay focused.
We should put the Predator helmet on you.
Could be fun.
She goes, I flip. Oh my God. That's
The Predette.
So
scary-
then I was
Predator.
pretty right about that. Then the QB and the freaking the keeper
Yeah.
are pretty much similar. They're freaking running the field. That's what it is.
I mean, obviously there's different positions. The midfielder is
Yeah.
important, all that, but the keeper is such a main part that can make or break you. And they got to control the back line, and they got to control the tempo sometimes. And it's just
Yeah.
It's
you know,
important.
the thing is, if you have a weak keeper,
it stands out.
well, you're never gonna win a championship.
tough.
It's like a
Yeah.
it's like a
Quarterback.
You need the keeper is the most.
QB.
When you're young, back in the day when we were growing up, they looked at keepers like they would put little Johnny over there.
Yeah.
They'd be like, put little Johnny in keeper.
Exactly.
He can't kick a ball.
No, that's
Remember?
so true.
But
No, they
here's-
don't know.
No, they know.
When we were little, we did
But
that.
the thing is, when you put little Johnny, your team can kick ass. And you can have a Messi player score 6 goals. But if you have little Johnny let in 7, you lost the
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
So who cares about little Messi over there? You got to care about little Johnny or Big Johnny or Big Ian. You know what I mean? So nowadays, like as a coach, one of the reasons why I had success is because everybody wants to be a hero and be a forward.
Yeah.
I coach from the back. My defense always has the best ball handlers.
Yeah.
My goalkeeper has to be a good ball. He can't.
Yeah.
He's got to know how to kick a ball. He can't just walk around. You know what I mean? It's like that's how you have a great team.
100%.
But people
Yeah.
overlook that in our
Yeah.
sport. They want to be Messi. Mira, es Messi increíble. Mira, I think Cristiano Ronaldo is. Oh my God, Cristiano, he's so good. Hey, man, what about Schumacher, you dumbass? What about Ian, man? These guys saved the game. Mira, yo que increíble, Messi, increíble, con Dio. Everything's about God and Messi. You know what? What about the goalkeeper who just saved every goal?
I agree with it. Yeah.
It's unbelievable,
Exactly.
and that's a big mistake.
Well, goalkeeper, you either love it, you love it or hate it.
Yeah,
You can't play goalkeeper and
Yeah.
kind of half-ass it. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
You're
Now let's talk about like making a comeback or what transition. I heard you had like a major shoulder injury at one point in your life. Or
I
some kind of injury.
tore my teres major, and the only reason
What
I
is
know
a teres
that
major for those listening?
is somewhere under my armpit.
And that's just what you were told.
Ouch, though.
That's the only reason I know it. I don't know anything about it.
Do you know when it happened?
Oh yeah.
What,
Right.
what were you doing?
It was about
Did it-
10 minutes into a game, and I threw a ball out, and
Oh,
something
like this when you were throwing it out?
something. I mean, I've thrown
Wow.
1,000 balls out, and never a problem, and just something wasn't aligned. My front foot slipped a little bit because it was like raining in England. Funny enough, and just felt it go.
Did
Wow.
it like popped?
it ripped.
Ooh.
It was a different. Yeah, it didn't. The pop I could have handled.
Yeah.
So, long story short, we didn't have another keeper on the bench, and it was a pretty big game. So I just kept playing.
Oh,
No
shit.
way, with one arm?
Yeah,
And how'd you guys do?
we won 1-0.
There you go.
With one arm, 1-0.
There's
One
There's
arm,
another
one-
scene in our movie.
did
I got
his
it.
job.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know, and it that was painful. That
Dude,
was,
that's right.
I
Yeah.
that was.
But you know your adrenaline's rushing too. You probably didn't
Yeah.
feel it as much.
Oh, that's
but
what.
you probably
and
felt it more
That's
afterwards.
what happens in sports.
Yeah.
When you get injured,
Yeah, no.
you don't feel it till the next day.
Sí,
Keep
pero
going.
Oh,
Messi,
This
Messi,
one-
my God, Messi.
This one though, I did.
He saved the
yeah.
game 1-0, and the guy will still be like, pero Messi, oh my God.
Yeah, this one hurt like crazy though. This didn't. There was not enough adrenaline to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now tell me about the time I heard that you. Yeah, there's two sides to every story, but there was some miscommunication, or you got into some altercation with like a ref or something. You
Oh,
put your
God.
hand on
Yeah.
his shoulder.
Oh, when he was young.
and
Yeah.
like you got suspended for like a year or something.
What?
What's the story
Going
behind
back,
this?
going back to
What?
Vegas. So my team, the Generals, with my best friend and his dad, who was the coach, we started getting good, and there were some teams getting jealous of this. So we're playing the final of State Cup, and we're playing the final, and the referee just blows this one call. We're winning 1-0. Ref blows the call, offsides by like 15 yards, and I kind of lost my head. I was seeing red. I ran out
How
to
old
the.
were you?
11.
You were also really trying to prove something to your coach.
Oh
too,
yeah,
that, you
no,
know,
it was the first time we've
were
beaten
trying to
this
make him
team.
proud.
They were talking so much stuff about us. We were,
Yeah.
so we're finally beating them, and the referee missed the call, and we know why. I didn't know why at the time, but we know why after, which I'll go
John
into.
Gotti's son.
Yeah. And so I run out to the linesman. I'm like, linesman, that was offside. He starts to walk away. So I kind of like, not push him, but I get his attention by opening his shoulder towards me, and immediate red card. And at that point, I was like, you know what?
The referee or the other kid.
The linesman. No, it was a referee.
Oh,
He was a grown
yeah,
man.
okay,
I was
okay,
11-year-old
that's right,
grown
yeah.
man. I was already bigger than him. Anyways,
So he was like 20.
yeah.
The grown man was
So-
18.
I get a red card, and you know what? Right away, I was like, you know what? That was dumb. I shouldn't have done it. Blah blah blah. Long story short, I got to go to like a hearing. It was like in a
Just for a
school
red
library.
card?
Yeah, because
Well,
they
he grabbed
said,
the guy.
well, yeah, they said I physically abused the linesman. Okay,
That's why I said there's two
But
sides
as
to every
a
story.
12-year-old,
No, he's 11.
Yeah.
Did you really physically, or was it just a grab?
it was
No.
it was
No, it's
basically
basically as somebody doing this.
yeah. I was
Like
I was
turn around.
I was
They made
yelling
it-
at him.
They made it as if you punched him in the face.
Yeah, well, what happened was, and here's the backstory, was the referee of the game used to work for my coach at his company, and 3 weeks before this, he got fired from that company, and he was the main ref. So
There
the
we go.
linesman was like, not a big deal. He didn't make it, but the main referee called in the report and said I physically abused him. So I had to go to this hearing, and it was this whole thing.
At
And
11 years old?
yeah, and the funny thing was, and soccer was my life, so I was like scared. Like they're like, oh, you're gonna get a year ban.
Well, especially as a child.
Oh, yeah.
At 11, you
that
don't
your
know any
mentality.
different?
No, you're like going. I have to go to court.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So the hearing was this: there was a judge who was part of the whole referee organization and whole Vegas soccer. Basically, before I could even state anything, goes, what you did was terrible, right? And blah, blah. I was like, so what? I'm already guilty, or do I get to like even say anything? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I got a year suspension. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. And so you
Crazy,
couldn't.
right?
A year suspension
Wow.
in Vegas?
Couldn't do one thing.
So you
But
had
the
to
fact
miss
that
all
a
your
grown
12-year-old
man
year.
was making a complaint about an 11-year-old.
So
Yeah.
that's a
That's
big
just
deal.
not
Can you
That's
guys
terrible.
imagine being told you're missing a whole year? Like a whole year. And this is why I wanted to bring this up. It's like everyone out there who's listening has hit obstacles and walls in their life where they've had to overcome something.
Yeah.
And that you're only 11 and 12.
Yeah.
But
That's
for
crazy.
you had to like sit for a year, and
It is
that's
my
a
life.
long time.
Yeah, that's
And
and
that's-
it's his
What
life.
did you do in that year?
Yeah, and that's your
did you
life.
just practice and
Trained even harder.
Yeah.
So that's what thank you. This is what I wanted to get to. There's people that will give up and say, I'm done, or people that are like, well, fuck that, I'm going to get better.
Yeah.
you know what? You want to take me down? I'm gonna show you what's up when I come back.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality that I like.
Yeah.
The Mamba
Someone who's
mentality.
like that.
So
Yeah.
that's where I went real hard on the ball machine.
Yeah.
So we went every day even more. But so fast forward to when I signed pro, I was playing for my team and we did an exposition game. Exposition game? Yeah, I can't even think. Yeah, exposition. Yeah, game in Vegas. And it was like kind of a big deal and all that. And so we play. We're at UNLV. We play. I play the game, and everybody's like, "Oh, Ian's back!" And all the fans were like, "Oh, Ian, vocal boy, whatever." The newspapers, everything. After the game, I see the guy that suspended me for a year. He was the director of the whole, like the leader of Vegas soccer, the head, And he's walking up, and he's got his croonies with him and stuff, and he wants to shake my hand now. Because he wants to show he knows me now because I'm playing pro, and he goes, "Hey Ian, how you doing?" And I'm like, I knew exactly who it was. And I go, "Who are you?" He goes, "Yeah, Darl from so," and he knew right away. Like he started putting his head down, but how do I know you? And then I finally cut out. I go, "Dude, I know who you are." I go, at 11 years old. Let me tell you, I looked at his buddies.
Wow.
I go, at 11 years old, this man stopped me from playing soccer for a whole year.
Holy moly, he called him
for touching a referee. And I go, you were wrong. I go, I'm not shaking your hand.
Wow.
And I go, but at the same time, I go, you did inspire me. I go, because I worked even harder. And every time I wanted to quit, I saw your face, and I just kept working.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yes.
Standing tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about right there. And the stories like that is why I love the show and love people bringing people on. 'Cause it's all about inspiration. Because none of us, life is not easy for anybody.
Right? No.
Everyone has freaking obstacles.
We all got our stories.
Everybody has, and we're going to have to bring him on again because he's full of them, or we're going to make his movie. And that's the thing. And this is why I wanted to bring you on, for inspiration, because everybody's sitting here, whether they're a soccer fan or they're an actor or they're anything, and they're having problems. We all have problems. We got to find ways out of it. And I love that. You didn't fucking call him an asshole. You didn't say fuck you.
I
You
stayed
just said,
professional.
hey, you know what? I remember you, but you know what? You made me better because of that. So thank you.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm headed because of that. You took an experience and took advantage of it, and that's what a lot of people don't do. Yeah. And that's the lesson I want to teach people. Yeah. Is sometimes we think life is hard and it's all fucking piling in on you. Instead of fucking cowering down and rolling up in a ball, take that and become stronger out of it.
Yeah. It's like
and make something of yourself.
Yeah, it's like what we said last podcast is that adversity is not a bad thing. Adversity is really good if you learn how to use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if things come too easily to you, then you take them for granted, and then when the time comes, you don't appreciate it as much, and then you kind of hightail it one way or the other.
Yep.
If you don't have adversity in your life, you're not growing. Anyone who's not had adversity, I kind of worry about who that person is.
But it's hard sometimes. You got to learn to appreciate the adversity.
And had everything on a silver platter,
you have a glass jaw.
The Kardashians.
Yeah.
It's like everything's handed to them. Do you even know how to overcome anything? It's like that builds character and 100%. Strength, and that's why you're such an amazing human being.
Thank you.
So fucking awesome, dude. Dude, seriously. Dude, I want to ask you one last few questions.
I love you.
Best episode ever.
I told those guys.
That's fine, baby.
You guys cool with that?
They listen to Tupac. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They got Tupac blaring. They listen to Hit 'Em Up every day. I'm like, wait, what is this?
I'm going to ask them, though. So Anthony's sons are in here, which I love them. They're like my nephews. Do you guys have one question before I stop this that you guys want to ask?
That's a good idea.
One question that you guys want to ask. Come over
here. Come over here.
Ask on the mic. Ask on the mic.
Not what size shoe am I?
I have two, but like...
Well, let your brother ask one then, too. You ask one and he asks one.
Did you win the game you got injured from?
Yes, I did. We won 1-0. And I was out for 6 months after that. Yeah. I shouldn't have. I actually shouldn't. The doc said I shouldn't have played, but I told him to,
Yes, sir. And the other question.
Smith, what's your question? Kiddo, come over here. Come over here.
Get him on the mic.
Come over to mine.
So basically, a statement and a question was like how soccer acting and everything in general. Soccer to me is like life because you can use it to like a work ethic 100%. And how it can keep you in shape. It's you have a family in soccer. It's like team. It's like a team. It's like a foundation of life, and
100%.
That's why I think soccer is one of the best sports in the world, and why we should embrace the sport a lot more.
100% well said. I couldn't
What's
said it
that?
better
What's the
myself.
question?
And no, it was more of a statement in how it was very inspiring hearing your thing, how the guy took you off for a year, and me, if I was off for a year, I would be so sad. Like,
Yeah, didn't you break something for a while?
yeah, I broke
Twice.
my ankle, and
Twice.
that was like
His
not
wrist
even
and
close to. That was like 5 weeks, and I was still, I was shook. I was really.
But you still
upset
came
about
back from it.
and I came back much more harder than.
Yeah.
So like those things can make you
Make you
like
stronger.
come harder and stuff.
Well, you know, if you break a bone, it comes back actually stronger.
Oh, really?
So that's a good analogy right there.
Yes, sir. Now let's ask Ian the last few questions, then we're gonna get out of here. What's your favorite 3 bands in the history of music?
Oh God. Oh. That's tough. Oh my
3
God.
Lindsay's laughing.
Okay.
You know what they are?
I do too.
There's so many, but all right. I mean, I'm gonna go with Tupac as well.
That's not a band.
We're
Yeah.
a Tupac
Old
family,
school.
baby.
Wait, but that's not
Yeah.
a band. Is
It's considered an artist.
than
An artist,
Tupac.
yeah.
Man, God, I gotta go old school with some Leonard Skinner.
There you go.
They're unbelievable. I love them too.
DMX.
One more.
DMX.
I gotta go something different, John.
We're gonna
Let's
play
go.
a little Tupac right after the show.
The Beatles.
How about that?
I mean, my it's so eclectic. God, I love some Frank Sinatra too. So,
Yeah! I love
But
it. I think this guy's my
again,
brother.
yeah.
This is
I mean, there's
insane.
so many. Yeah. Okay.
And how about your dad though? Your dad wasn't he a musician?
Oh yeah, he's love his jazz, so he's like all Miles Davis and all that, you know.
There
but,
you go.
Yeah.
And so what is one song that you would play like sometimes when I'm working out or whatever, there's one song that I just need to make me kick some ass. It's my Eye of the Tiger. What's your Eye of the Tiger?
Oh. I don't even. No one will know. It's Slipknot.
Oh, we know who Slipknot is.
Psychosocial.
Which song?
Psychosocial.
Oh my God! Yes, I know exactly.
There's
know
something
that
about it,
It's
just
like
the-
psychosocial,
yeah,
psychosocial.
yeah, yeah.
It's like yeah, I know that song really well.
It gets you hyped.
That
I mean,
is
that
a
doesn't.
badass song.
But there's others too. I mean, any kind of like Tupac.
But that's it. That's it
yeah.
though. Psychosocial. Like I know that song.
Yeah.
And then what? This is the last song question. What is one song that is Ian's life anthem that describes your life? That's your life anthem.
Hell Bells.
What's
I mean, it'd have to
be.
be. Let's just stay with Frank Sinatra. That's life.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And the last thing is, which you can learn a lot about from people, and you guys are all going to do it now that I said
I'm
this,
scared.
is when next time you go to a grocery store, I'm going to ask you, what are 3 things I would find in your grocery cart if I was standing behind you in line?
Chocolate, chips, water.
Trust me,
Cookies.
when you guys are all going to do it, look at everybody when you're next to them, and you're going to be like, oh, they eat that?
Junk
Yeah.
food.
Oh, they're healthy, they're fat, they have freaking heart disease, freaking arteries clogged. Like,
Junk food.
what are 3 things you're going to find in your grocery cart?
Cookies. Milk.
Which kind of
What
cookies?
kind of
Chocolate chip
Yes,
cookies.
sir.
Okay.
Milk.
Milk and cookies.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's wrong with that? I love
Yeah.
this. This guy's like my brother.
Lynn's like she always knows what I.
Well, she's
want.
over there like, yep, milk
Yeah.
and cookies.
Grocery store.
Yeah.
And what's the 3rd thing? Beer?
Help me out, babe. Help me out, babe.
Wine.
Wine, yes.
Yeah, wine.
A good bottle of red
You
wine.
can't. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
So I like the cookies and the wine, the milk. You know,
Yeah.
cookies and wine.
know too.
There you go. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So hey, we got Smith and Campbell that came and freaking guest star, co-host, and jumped on the mics. Say hi, each of you. Just say hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Campbell.
And what's your name?
My name is Smith.
I have a question. Is there any way I can do a podcast once? Like, I love podcasts.
I love this. We made podcasts of the
stay
future,
here, stay here.
and we made some
So
future
cute.
podcasters here. It's freaking. It's an
Hey, there's
awesome.
kids that are doing podcasts these days.
It's happening. That's what's gonna.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
We got Anthony Azizi, my boy Anthony Azizi here in the house. Thank you so much for bringing the boys. These guys are big
Thank you,
Ian
Ian.
fans. That's why they came, and
Yes,
I'm so
we are.
appreciative of you. Jennifer,
Yeah.
oh, delicious is
God,
here.
you better stop calling. This is the only episode you're allowed to do that. No more with that. Stop.
And we got Lindsay in the house. We got freaking Ian's wife over here in the corner.
Lindsay
She was so
Licious.
well behaved. Lindsay is in the house.
I was worse
And
than Lindsay.
intern Juan, thank you so much, intern Juan, holding down the
Thanks,
ship.
Juan.
I'm so blessed to have him tonight because usually we shoot during the day and he can't be here because he has a regular job, but he's here tonight, holding down the
Thanks,
fort.
Juan. You were awesome.
He made sure tech was going well. He got our drinks, made sure everyone was happy, and to end it, Ian Feuer. Feuer. the Predator, freaking soccer elite right here. This guy is somebody that everybody should listen to this and aspire to be like, man. Like, I don't even care if you're an athlete,
Thank you.
but apply that to your own life.
Thank you.
Some of the stories you had to tell were inspirational, and I'm so blessed that you agreed to be here with me tonight on my
blast.
show. Thanks, Jen, for bringing him in.
Yeah, you bet.
And this is Kurt Caceres.
Wait, before you go out.
Yes, sir.
So, when I came in and met him, he has these cool Jordans, and they're like 3 times the size of my shoe.
What size are they?
Size 17, I believe. And I tried them on. I want a pair of Jordans. They're so nice.
Okay,
Hey,
Anthony.
why don't you just make your own money and get your own? One day.
I don't have a job
And then you
yet.
can. Well, you know what? One of these days, and then you can grow into them.
How about this?
And wear
I feel
your
so
own.
bad for Kurt. He's trying to end the show here.
Hey, how about this? Keep working hard at soccer and go
Yeah.
to college on a scholarship.
Yeah,
And then your dad won't have to buy you those Jordans. You're going to get your own.
that's right.
Ian, thanks for being here. This is Kurt
Thanks for having
Caceres.
us.
Wait,
Jason
I want
Charles.
the last word.
Jason Charles
Last
Miller
word.
on the music. This is What's Your Name Again? What's the last word?
Last word. That's the last word.
That's it. We're out. Good night.